Newborns are different from us, so what they do can make us feel like they're not normal because it's different. Hi, welcome to Lactation with Amy. My name is Amy. I'm an international board certified lactation consultant. My goal is to support mothers reach their breastfeeding goals through sharing my knowledge and experiences. If you or your newborn are struggling with sleep in the postpartum period, this video will help you navigate and hopefully figure out why you're experiencing this, what is normal and what's not normal. We're going to talk about signs of a thriving baby, assessing your supply, the circadian rhythm, and complementary feeding. First of all, is my baby starving because I'm not making enough milk? We are going to assess whether your baby is thriving through a few things. First, we're going to assess your baby's weight. If your baby is less than 3 days old, you want baby to weigh no less than 90% of your baby's birth weight. For example, if baby's birth weight is 3,000 grams, you want baby to be no less than 2,700 grams by day 3. If baby is older than 3 days old, you want to strive for baby to reach birth weight by 10 to 14 days. For babies that are 2 weeks and older, you expect baby to gain on average about 20 to 30 grams per day, or 150 to 200 grams per week, considering your baby hadn't had any issues with too much weight loss in the first week of life. Number 2, daily output. You want baby to have at least 6 to 8 clear, heavy soiled nappies every 24 hours, at least 2 yellow stools a day. Anywhere between 2 poos to 10 poos a day can be normal for exclusively breastfed babies. If baby is not hitting these output or weight requirements and not hitting the developmental milestones that they should be having for their age, then you need to bring baby to the hospital or see a doctor immediately. Baby should have an overall health assessment and will most likely need more food through breastfeeding more often, more frequently throughout the day, and sometimes requiring top-ups of additional food. Number 2, is it your supply or is it your baby? So for the last 2 minutes, you assess your baby, tick, tick, tick. Does my baby have any weight concerns? Does my baby have any concerns about their output? So I want you to write down how many feeds your baby does a day. Hopefully you know what times your baby feeds in a day and how many output your baby does every 24 hours. If your baby has had great weight gain and great output and feeds and sleeps during the day and just doesn't sleep at night, that probably indicates that you don't have a problem with your supply or how much you're feeding your baby. You have a well-thriving baby. Then what most likely is happening is that they are sleeping well during the day, but they're crying a lot at night and not wanting to sleep. So in a 24-hour period, a well-thriving baby will probably feed and sleep for 2 to 3 hours and have a feed and another sleep for 2 to 4 hours, have another feed and have like a 1 hour sleep, and have another feed and have a 3 hour sleep. And then 12 hours later, the daytime has passed, you've done what you needed to do, and then nighttime or dinner time, baby starts having a short feed, taking a 20-minute nap, another short feed nap. You're like, oh, okay, I think baby's done now. You put baby in the cot, baby wakes up again, wants another feed for 10-15 minutes and takes another nap on you. And you bring them to dad for a cuddle, baby wakes up, wants to have another feed. So they will be cluster feeding for anywhere between 2 to 6 hours. And after a long period of cluster feeding, then they usually have a long sleep, usually about 5 to 6 hours. So a well baby will feed between 8 to 12 times every 24 hours. But rather than it being every 3 hours, sleep for 3 hours, feed and sleep for 3 hours, feed, sleep for 3 hours, feed, sleep for 3 hours. Rather than it being a clockwork, a well-thriving, exclusively breastfed baby will cluster feed. They will have times where they are super alert, less likely to sleep, and they will have times where they just want to have a small feed and then they will sleep for quite long, happily between feeds. If this is your case, if your baby sleeps well during the day and then doesn't sleep for a portion of this 24 hours, and that tends to be your baby's routine, then that means you have a well-thriving baby. It is definitely not your supply, and this is just your baby's behavior. There is no reason why your baby would sleep well during the day and then suddenly not sleep at night, because your supply doesn't change. You actually even release more milk during nighttime. So you might just have a baby that loves feeding at night. This brings us to the next topic. We're going to talk more about baby's circadian rhythm. Newborns do not have a circadian rhythm. They're not aware of the difference between day and night like we are. Evidence shows that it starts developing around 3 months and does not fully develop until 1 year of age. They can also have regression, which means you notice them sleeping more at night and then less again. Light sleep, also called active sleep, lasts about 20 minutes before baby then goes into deep sleep. Babies grow through their sleep, which helps their brain develop and allow them to wake up often to ensure that they are fed. So in a way, when your baby doesn't sleep and cluster feeds, it's actually their survival instincts kicking in. For a really sick baby or a premature baby, they're more likely to be sleepy and not show these feeding cues and not demand feed. So whenever we are assessing for a baby's well-being, we always prefer a baby who is more alert, more active, and shows more feeding cues than a baby that needs waking up like clockwork to be able to feed. Now, you might have heard that formula-fed babies sleep better. There's actually no evidence to suggest this. Research shows that breastfeeding mothers end up sleeping more than formula-fed mothers. However, it may look more sporadic rather than regular sleeping intervals. So it may appear like that formula-fed babies sleep better because breastfeeding babies actually wake up easier from active sleep than formula-fed babies. Breastfed babies also have a lower SIDS risk because of this and various other reasons. So it may appear like formula-fed babies are always in a deeper, more regular sleeping routine, but in fact, this is not actually natural for newborns. Babies under 3 months old sleep between 11 to 18 hours a day in total. So think about this. This means your baby could actually be awake for 13 hours a day, and that's still within normal. This might look like a baby that sleeps well for 5 to 6 hours during the day and have like a 30-minute to 1 hour feed, and then 4 to 5 hours of cluster feeding or awake time during the day or at night. And this is all within normal. If your baby has adequate output and weight gain, and your baby is showing these cluster feeding behaviors and not sleeping at night, that is normal, and you're not doing anything wrong, and congratulations, you have a really healthy baby. When you are breastfeeding, a hormone called CCK is released in your baby as they feed. This actually makes the baby sleepy, which is why they often drift off during the feed. The levels of CCK actually rise at its peak at the end of a feed, and then drop, and then peak again 30 to 60 minutes later. The later peak is thought to be caused by the breast milk, especially the fat in your baby's tummy. Your baby feeds to sleep and then wakes up again shortly. If you then give baby a top-up feed, then they will often drop off into a deeper sleep. Now, when does it end and when can you sleep for longer? Research shows that by about 3 months, half of the babies are sleeping for a 5-hour stretch at night, and by about 6 months, about half of the babies are sleeping for an 8-hour stretch on some of the nights. By the end of their first year, nearly 1/3 of babies are still waking up during the night. Now, this is all hard work. If you're someone that loves your routine, enjoys planning your day, and loves your sleep, this whole thing may seem so chaotic for you. Newborns are different from us, so what they do can make us feel like they're not normal because it's different. You're probably told times and times that this is normal, that is normal, and none of that feels normal. I hope what you can take away from this video is that every baby is different, and your baby is just doing what they need to survive, to bond with you, to communicate with you. And whether your baby sleeps well or not, it's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. Just you being there is enough. Please ask for help from your village. Talk to your families, your friends, your partners about what you need and how they can support you. Let them give baby a cuddle so you can sleep. You don't have to entertain them, when they come to your house and visit. You could ask your family or friends for meal preps. Give them a chore when they come visit you while you focus on feeding your baby. Remember, you will survive this and you will thrive as a family. Thank you so much for watching and finishing this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please comment down and share your experience with me, or simply like the video. If you enjoyed the way I explain things and share my stories, please subscribe and join the community of supporting new mothers like yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye.